morning, guys. So we are about 6 weeks out from my next WBFF show. The first video, and the last one I've done for quite a while actually, was in my lead up to WBFF Gold Coast. So that was at 11 weeks out. I was in a pretty good place then. Since then I have competed. I managed to place 5th in fitness and 4th in bikini, which was an awesome surprise. I honestly did not think I was going to place in fitness at all, and to place top 5 in bikini as well was just really, really exciting. So since that day I have got my feedback from the judges. As always, my glutes. My glutes are my weakness. I need to tighten them up a little bit more. So after the show I took a few days off, just enjoyed all of the food I was craving throughout prep. I had burritos and nachos and all sorts of chocolate and cookies and peanut butter, of course, everything. So then on the Monday after show day, I got straight back into my training, had a chat to my coach, and we kind of came up with a plan. So for 3 weeks I stayed at maintenance, which meant that my weight stayed pretty much the same. So I'm now just a tiny bit below stage weight, which is good. Bumped the training up and have just been really smashing my glutes and hammies, trying to build just the tiniest bit if I can. It's not much time, so I don't know what we can do in that time. But just to really maintain the muscle if nothing else, and to come in even leaner and even tighter in my next show at WBFF Sydney. So I'm still aiming for that pro card. One day, I'll just keep working until we get there. Today I want to give you a bit of an idea of the kind of foods I'm eating. It's high carb day, so I'm so excited. I have gotten to a stage in this prep where sleep is a little bit hard. You might be able to tell I'm still a bit half asleep actually, because I'm so hungry all the time. I spend so much of my time just going through Instagram, looking at pictures of food. I don't know if anyone else does that. If you saw my saved file in Instagram, it's just all pictures of food at the moment. So 6 weeks and then I can have some of that stuff again. I am craving cookies and granola this time. So today I'm going to run you through what I'm eating for high carb day. I am training legs and glutes, surprise, surprise, so I will put up some of those exercises, particularly the activation work that I'm doing at the moment to really make sure my glutes are fired up before I start training. That is something I didn't really use until this year, and I found it's made a massive difference. So activation is key when we are training our glutes. Alright, so first things first in the morning, I always have my Oxy Shred 20 minutes before eating, just to sort of wake me up a little bit. It's a good way to start the day. Before I get started with my morning routine, I'll just have a chat about, just everything leading up to Gold Coast, because I didn't really document anything after that 11-week mark. So I actually found that was partly one of the easiest preps I've ever done, but also one of the most difficult preps I've ever done. Which is quite funny. In terms of my diet, I found I wasn't that hungry. I had so much energy. I was sleeping really well up until just that last little bit of time, sort of peak week and just before the show. I think probably because I was using intermittent fasting a lot, so I would wake up, if I had cardio, I would do my cardio, and then I wouldn't really eat my first meal until about 2 o'clock, sometimes 3 o'clock, and I found I had a lot of energy up until that point, and then it just meant that I could eat so much more in the last part of the day. I mean, my macros stayed the same, but instead of spreading them out over the course of the whole day, I was spreading them out over a short amount of time. So that really, really worked for me, as I mentioned in my first video. So that is something I'm trying to incorporate a little bit in this prep. It is harder with work, so when I have days off, I do my intermittent fasting, and on weekends I do that as well. I found that prep was really hard just because I was so busy. So I had work, I had a lot of commitments with work that took up a lot of time. I am currently studying, so I'm now a little way into my Cert 4, training to become a personal trainer, an online coach, a body transformation coach, and eventually one day I want to start prepping people for this stage, but that's something I'll do later on down the track. So I was studying, which was keeping me really busy as well, and then obviously I had my training. I had a lot of things going on with my family as well, which was just, keeping me very, very busy. To the point where I was so busy, sometimes I didn't feel the hunger because I just forgot. I didn't forget to eat. I'm not one of those kind of people. Trust me, I love food too much, but it did just make the hunger easier. I did also get sick a lot in my last prep. I think it was due to the stress. So at the beginning of the prep, mentally and physically, I was a wreck. I got onto Core RX, and this really helped, honestly. When I started taking this, I found I just had a massive difference in my mentality and my physical health. It helps to reduce, or it helps to reset your cortisol levels. So if you are stressed, if your body is going through really heavy training, if you've got a lot going on and those cortisol levels are quite high, your body can't quite get them back to where they need to be, this will really help. It'll also help with sleep, I noticed. I also tried different greens powders as well, just to get my immunity back to where it needed to be, making sure I was taking multivitamins and all of that sort of stuff. And once I started combining the Core RX, some greens and some vitamins, and also some probiotics as well, I found my health just got so much better. And touch wood, I haven't been sick since then. So hopefully I've kind of figured out the right balance to be able to stay busy and do a lot without letting it kind of take over my mind and take over my body as well. Stage day was awesome. The WBFF shows are always amazing. They absolutely spoil the athletes at the Rego night, where we get to take photos and we have interviews, where we get all of our little goodie bags of things from all of the sponsors. Then obviously show day itself, where the atmosphere is just incredible. Everyone is so friendly and so supportive backstage. You know exactly what's going on. And then when you're on the stage, there's the lights and there's the music, and it really is a proper show, which is really nice. You feel like all the hard work you've put in is worth it once you step out on that stage. And then obviously they supply all the food for post-show as well. There's pizza and Nutella and peanut butter and chocolate and so many things. So we really are spoilt in the WBFF in Australia. They treat us really well. So I can't wait to get back up there and do it all again in Sydney. I'll do a whole post about what it's like competing with the WBFF. So if you have any questions about anything like that, if you've never competed before, if you're thinking about competing, let me know in the comments or send me a message on my Instagram and I will answer your questions. So where I'm at the moment, I've just had a pretty big drop in my food in the lead up to my next show. So I'm sitting on about 1,500 calories for my low days, about 1,900 for my high days. I'm making sure I eat lots of whole foods, lots of things that are very high in micronutrients, very volume heavy, so things like salads and vegetables to bulk up my meals, just so that I'm feeling fuller and not noticing the hunger as much, and making sure that I'm giving my body everything it needs as well. I will post a check-in video in my next vlog. For now, I mean, as you can see, it's freezing in Australia, so I'm constantly ragged up. But in terms of where I'm at, I'm not taking these pants off, it's too cold. Sitting just a little bit below stage weight now. And I'm honestly hoping to come in a little bit leaner. Hoping to maybe drop another couple of kilos before my next show. So we'll see what we can do. So every morning I have OxyShred as my fat burner, and I like to have this with L-carnitine. I will do a post all about my supplement stacks and all of the details as to why I take them, when I take them, and any questions you might have, I'll answer them. But essentially I take OxyShred because it tastes amazing. It's your metabolism, it helps your body to burn more off whilst you are training. It's got mood enhancers, So it's just going to make you feel really amazing when you're on prep as well, or even if you're just trying to trim down a little bit. I aim to drink at least 4 litres of water a day, and so to keep track of that, I just have a big bottle and I'll use this to fill up all of my sups, drinking it throughout the day, just so I know exactly how much I'm drinking. I am terrible and I will not drink enough unless I'm keeping track of it. So I become quite strict with tracking everything when I'm on prep. All of my food to the gram, all of my water. I even make sure that I macro in all of my subs. So good. Honestly, when I go to bed at night, I can't wait to wake up because 1, I'm starving and I can't wait to eat, and 2, because I get to have my Oxy Shred. I love it. It is really good. Okay, so for my pre-workout meal, I like to have peanut butter on toast because it is high carb day. I will be having banana and honey with that as well. So I like to have the soylent bread. It's a little bit lower in carbs, so it's better on prep. I always have peanut butter every day because it tastes amazing and it is just the greatest thing on the planet. I have banana because it is a fast-acting carb, so it is good pre-workout or just before some intense exercise to give you an energy hit. And then for my supplements, pre-workout, I'm going to have some RP Max for focus and energy and to just really give me a good kick. And I'm going to stack this with PSI, which is going to help enhance my pump and also help enhance that focus and that energy as well. Prep and off prep, I like to track my food. I weigh everything out and I keep track of it by using MyFitnessPal. So this is a really good app to use just to make sure that you're being accountable, to be aware of the amounts of foods that you're eating and to help you track all of your macros for the day. I like to make sure that everything is weighed to the gram when I am on prep. So the closer I get to the comp, the more strict I become with my tracking, just because as you do get closer to the comp, you do lean down, just the tiniest things will start to make a difference. When I'm not on prep and in my off season, I am a little bit more flexible. I'm not quite as strict. I'll allow myself to eat out a little bit more and just be a little bit more lenient with my tracking. But I believe that if you are prepping for a comp, then you should commit to it completely and wholly if you want to see the best results. breakfast workout, I am going to have some oxyway, and I'm also going to have mushrooms and some scrambled eggs with cottage cheese on toast and some carrot sticks for a snack, just because I love having things to snack on. Almond milk coffee. I have decaf just because I don't want to have too much caffeine, as there's caffeine in my pre-workout and in my fat burner. So I mainly have this just because it's cold. I want something nice and warm to drink just to fill me up a little bit more.